Alright, here we go. Welcome. I'm Ed, the YouTube channel. We're working on the seat bracket for the E36. We scrapped the other one, starting over. Got most of the pieces pre-cut, so you guys don't have to sit through that. Just wanted to show you guys how I lay out my material. Some tips that might be useful for you. You may already have your own way. Everybody's got a way to do something. So I need a 15-inch long piece. This is 2-inch 3/16 material. I only need 15 inches of it. So when I mark this, your Sharpie, it's wide. 15 inches. I don't know if you can see that, but my line is on this side of the 15 inches. So when I cut this material, I'm going to want to cut through my Sharpie marker and leave the 15 inches. If I were standing on the other side of this material and cutting from that side, I would put my mark on this side of the 15 inches and leave my Sharpie mark and just run my wheel up to the edge of the Sharpie mark. But in this case, we're running right through it. Remember to get your ears on. Now when I cut this, I like to score all the way across my Sharpie mark before I just start digging in and cutting. And that's the other thing. I'm not just digging in and cutting. I'm letting this disc do the work, just passing it over it. You can see I'm wearing rubber gloves. You don't want to push real hard. You get your material hot. You won't be able to handle it right away. Downtime. Nobody likes downtime. So just like that, we are left with 15 and 1/32 of an inch. So we'll get all these parts cleaned up, get them over on the welding bench, get the camera moved, figure out how to edit this in here, and yeah, we'll see you over at the welding bench. Okay, over at the welding table, we got our latitudinals and we got our longs. I call them that because, well, that's how the globe's laid out. Latitudinals, north, south, car, front, back, flats, driver, passenger, left, right, whatever you want to use. Just use something and try and use the same thing all the time so it works consistently. Just use what works for you. So, we are going to run our longs across the seat this way, and the lats this way, front to back, north to south. So we'll get these pieces welded together, get them squared up, welded together. Bring you guys over here. We've got our parts prepped and ready. You're going to want to clean all the surfaces you plan on welding. We're going to weld around 4 sides of this across the bottom to here. You're going to want to clean this surface, this surface, this surface. Any surface that you're going to weld to, you got to get this mill scale off. So, we got to do this one yet. And then, I don't know if you guys can see this stuff on camera, but my gloves are covered in diesel from working on the grinder today. So, we're going to need to clean these parts off with some brake clean. Very important to use non-chlorinated brake clean when cleaning for welding. The heat and argon gas from your welding, if used with chlorinated brake clean, will produce phosgene gas. So, non-chlorinated brake clean. Just always buy non-chlorinated brake clean, spray it on whatever you want, light it on fire, you'll be fine. So we'll clean this. And we're prepped for welding. Well, we got to clean it. Non-chlorinated. So, when we laid this out, I built it so you can just line up the edges, making it easy. Just take your time, line up your edges. You only want to do it once. Sit here and cut off your tacks all night. Make sure you check it before you weld everything. She's plenty square. You can also measure it this way. But if your pieces of steel aren't all the exact same length and you didn't line them exactly on the edge, it's not a very reliable measurement. So before you just go start welding, and get a couple more tacks on her, make sure it's going to be held square. When you're tacking your material, you want to put your tack somewhere where it's going to be useful to your weld. Either where you can weld through it, start at it, stop at it. Just put it somewhere where it's not going to be in your way later when you're welding it out. So, we'll just get her welded now. You can watch, I guess. I'd like to be able to sit here and teach you how to weld, but I'm no welder. So, I'm just self-taught myself. I subscribe to the Fabricator series. That guy's full of useful information. Check out his channel. I practice. This is getting ready to build the cage for the E36 behind us here. So I just put this together, practice coping pipe, fitting pipe, whatnot, practice welding, setting up, where to put my tacks. I don't want to get too carried away on this because this is just HREW 120 wall, not DOM. And the DOM we're using is 095 wall, so it's a little bit thinner. You can't have more than 0.01 undercut on your material, so I don't want to get too accustomed to welding this before I do the cage for the car. Just things to keep in mind while you're doing this kind of thing. Make sure you finish your welds all the way to the end. Don't stop short. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do the ends or not. Probably. I'll just do them off camera. Or I'll just do them while you guys are watching. Alright, load it. Bring it over here. Lay out our holes. Drill it. Okay. Our parts are welded. They're cool. We can lay out for our bolt holes for the seat, for mounting the seat to this and mounting this in the car. First holes we're going to drill are for the ones in the car. So this will mount in the car this direction, that being the bottom. The seat will bolt to these. So this is going to be the front. This is the back. This is the top. Label it top. This way. We'll flip it back over. Drill a couple holes for our factory seat bolts. They're 17 3/4 spread. This is 19 inches. We'll come in I'll just come in just over 5/8. Bag will make her 11/16. I just use a punch as a scribe. Makes a nice bright line. I'm sure the camera can't see it, but I can. We're going to go ahead and square that line all the way down this side. Do a nice deep score, and then we're going to reference all the rest of our bolt holes off of this line. So 17 3/4. Same thing on this side. In fact, we'll give ourselves a bottom mark too, just to make sure that it ends up square. Never hurts. Okay. I'll get a nice deep scribe in this side. And you can use whatever marking utensil you want. Whatever works best for you. I like to have a nice thin mark for when I drill holes, just to make sure they end up in the right spot. That's why I scribe it in. So, now that we got those established, our other bolt holes are a 14-inch spread. This is 15 inches. So we'll come in a 1/2 inch from the edge. We'll burn an inch here to get a good accurate mark. 1/2 inch. That is going to be where we drill our first hole. From there, it's going to be 14 inches. Maybe I can turn this around so you can see a little bit. So, and again, we're going to burn an inch. Makes it easier to get more accurate. We're going to come all the way down to 15. We burned a whole inch. make our mark there. So, same on this side. In fact, so from here, square it up with our scribe, make a mark here. And that will make sure these start in the same plane. As you can see, I can't really measure from that ugly weld. So, again, we'll burn an inch. We will come down here to 15. Make sure this line is straight. Looks a little funny. It's not. This is out of square to this, but remember we reference everything off of this point. This may not be welded on there exactly and line up the edges perfectly. These could be a different length, but that's exactly why we measure from one spot, reference everything off one side. This is the back. Make sure you keep your orientation right. So, that gives us our 3 bolt holes. We only got 3 bolt holes on here now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, we got all 4. So, we'll center punch them. Luckily, I have my hammer sitting here. I like nice deep center punches. Drill bit doesn't wander. Smack it once, smack it hard. Alright, those are laid out. Now, we need to lay out the seat. The seat has bolt hole spread of 11 3/8. And we gotta have the seat offset from the transmission tunnel. This is really close to the transmission tunnel. And if we were to bolt the seat right over it, it would hit the transmission tunnel. So, I measured that off video. It needs a 4 3/4 inch spread. We'll get it marked out. So, I measured it from the bolt hole. We're not going to measure from this edge because we don't know that it's square. So again, we're going to reference from here. We're going to come over 4 3/4 of an inch for our seat offset. 4 3/4, and we will square it down. To this. Okay. That gives us our offset. The seats, bolt holes are 11 3/8 wide. We'll burn an inch, get nice tight marks. Come over here to 12 3/8. 12, 1, 2, 3. Same thing down here. Burn an inch. Go to 12, 1, 2, 3/8. Make a mark. And we'll just scribe through these, give us somewhere to put our other mark. Makes it easy. So then the front to back of our seat is 13 inches. What do we got here? Half an inch, half an inch. So, that's right, because these are 15. So we'll come up half an inch, make a mark, That's a bolt hole. Half an inch. Make a mark. That's a bolt hole. 13 inches. And we'll measure from this way so we can burn an inch. Come up here to 14 because we burned an inch. Take the time to get it laid on your marks right. One good mark, that's all you need. Hit it once, hit it hard. All right, I'll take it over to the drill press and get it drilled out. All right, let's move on to drilling our holes. Got this bit in here, use a 1/4 inch. This bit will work to bolt the seat down, and we'll pre-drill for our subfloor in our car. I tighten all 3 of these. I use all 3 holes. Mr. Jacobs put 3 holes. I tighten all 3. Use a nice sharp bit, slow speed. Not even using any oil. Chips aren't even any color. They're not even hot. I got all night. I'm just making YouTube videos. You want to ease up on your push. When it starts getting to the bottom of the hole, you try and just force it straight through. It'll catch this part and spin it around. Ask me how I know. I use all 3 holes. Make sure your bit's not going to hit your table. The outside holes. We are making the outside holes bigger. That's not right. Bit's rotating this way. You don't want to stand on this side of your piece and be drilling. If this catches, it's going to hit you. If you're over here, it's going to hit the back of the press. You're just going to get hurt a little bit. Not near as bad. And that's our finished part. All right. This is why it's good to have a mock-up seat. It wouldn't be quite so rough if it was a finished product. And I would assume this bracket will work with the new seat and sliders. These are Corbeau sliders, so I'm sure this bolt pattern's probably industry standard, whatever that might happen to be. Yes, I know I'm missing a washer. It's under the car somewhere. still works. Again, if I was building just a race car, I wouldn't even use the seat sliders. I'd use these side mounts. Get the brackets for the car, but I want other people to be able to beat on this piece of shit too. So let's put it in the car. Let's get this thing bolted in. Get this all started by hand. And again, these are all the factory mounting points. Up there too. You can kind of see the red. But we'll get this bolted in and see how that handbrake looks in there. Let's get that thing in there. The seat is good to go. Turned out good. The seat slider works good. Be able to fit really short people in here. Really long-legged people. Maybe not very many wide people. Yeah, I like it. Now, finally, the whole reason for building a drift car is to get to the skirt. So, handbrake. We need to mount this thing. It's going to have to be solid because I like to pull. So, we'll get our master cylinder mounted to this. I'm really excited to install this Nameless Performance. This is their 18-inch model. But until then, I'm going to sit in my car and enjoy it. Maybe take a nap. It's late. The grinder still needs a little bit of work. Sorry, I forgot the heater was on. That's just the constant spark generator you hear for the oil furnace. I'm over it at this point though. I'm ready for a nap. Good night.